Sexy Loaf. What's up? I don't know if you can hear me that well. I don't know if the audio's that good, but I just decided to stream some stringing. Gotta go in a certain way. A little glitchy. Sorry about that. Just trying to set up here my iPad, so it's probably not the best setup. But for what I'm doing, I mean, we'll see. Maybe next time I'll get a longer USB. I should plug it into the PC. These brackets, you have to start in different places. This one you have to start from the top. Some of them from bottom. You want the string to go down underneath. Like I said, I don't know if you guys can hear me that well. But this is just a test. See how we can improve it later. I don't know that it's all working all that well. I don't have a camera that extends all the way out here, so I'm using my iPad on a PC. So it's a little tough to start. Here we go. And I'm not the best stringer. I haven't been doing it for years. I've been doing it for about 2 years. But there are people that have been doing it for 20 years and can do this in a matter of minutes. I know you guys can't see, but I gotta go all the way back to the back of my room, the room here. Now, stretch these out and get them even. This way that I know how to do. Go ahead and clamp this one. Usually I start on this side, which would be my right. And I'll set this to about 48 pounds. Actually, you know what? For who I'm stringing it, we're going to go 50. 49. 50 pounds is good. Eventually, they'll reduce after some use. And then it'll be better. But like 50, I think that's a pretty good number. I mean, it is for a high school kid. Although she does hit pretty hard, I think 50 would be good. I've used 50 with her before. I think she'll be fine. If you got any questions, I'll try to look back at the chat and answer some of the questions. Not necessarily going to go for speed. Although I do 3 of them. Although I'm only going to do 2 because I'm going to put a different set of strings on this one. Different than this one. I know the player that I'm doing this one for likes these strings. That's what I gave her. I think these are really good strings. These Yonex strings. So she hits really good with them. I hit with these. You don't know anything about strings. You're just watching for the first time, which I think is just spicy loaf. Different strings provide you with different things. Some extra spin, depending on your style of hitting. Spin is really everything. Spin's the main thing that I focus on, especially with hitters nowadays and the way they hit and the power that they use. So just giving a little tight, flipping this around, clamping that down. Again, this is very impromptu. It's not the best setup. The lighting is probably not the best, but my gaming office wasn't really, or gaming room slash office wasn't really set up for live streaming stringing, but, and plus I don't do enough business that it would be beneficial to set up an entire live streaming setup for just the strings. Like I said, I had to do 2 of them, possibly 3. So figured I'd stream it. So, want to go over again from what I've read. Sorry. Sorry, I just saw your. Is it recommended switch when you get a brand new racket? It depends on the brand new racket. Most high-end rackets, like this one was my old racket, costs about 2 something, 240. Don't come with strings unless the company that you buy it from strings it for you, which that is an option depending on where you buy it. If you buy it from like a Tennis Warehouse, Tennis Express, they'll string it for you. You just got to pick the strings, the poundage, things like that. But if you go, if they have it on the shelf somewhere, and like I said, it's a high-end racket, they won't come with strings. Usually the rackets that come with strings are, these are poly strings. They'll come with multi-filaments. Some might come with a poly string of types, and they're really not that good. But if you're just starting off, you really can't tell the difference all that well. But as you start playing, getting caught on my shirt. Like with many things, some of these things do make a difference. Strings, even if it makes a difference of that much, that can be the difference between the ball going out and the ball going in. So, I'll go one more. I already got the strings pre-cut. This is the easy part of stringing the mains, as they call them here. There's all sorts of different techniques you can use for stringing. Whether you want to go with one complete string. I'm not that skilled. I don't know how to do it. But I know Babolat's, I think it's recommended on some Babolat racket brands, is a Yonex. They recommend that. And the strings have this little oil. Have this little oil on the ball. Just 1 second. All right, here we go. Okay. Let's go back. This side right here. And the reason you're kind of going back and forth is because you want the strings to be, the tension to be even. If you start on this side, on one side, and tighten it all the way, the tension is going to be a little bit uneven, so you kind of want to go this way as the center is where you want to hit the ball the most. I know some, again, like I said, I'm not an expert. This is just sort of basic stuff. If I'm wrong, let me know. If anyone who has been stringing is watching, I'm saying something wrong, let me know. But I know that there are some, it would be easier on an electronic machine. This is a hand crank machine. Where some people, as you go out, you set the tension a little bit differently for that reason, so you don't lose any tension. Oh, messed up there. I forgot to tighten that. So this is what I'll do. I was going too fast. Let me see. How can I recover? I don't think I lost a lot of tension, but I think it'll be fine. I didn't really go all the way through, so I think it'll be fine. Now this is a 16 by 19 pattern. Sorry, I was thinking about something else. I forgot what I was doing. 16 by 19 pattern. 16 by 19. There's some that are 18 by 20. This is an 18 by 20 pattern. It's an 18 by 20. Different patterns give you different things. Some a little bit more power, some a little bit more control, some a little bit more spin. I like spin, as in the way that I hold the racket and the way I hit lends itself a lot to producing a lot of spin. Now, getting ready to end here as we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, right on the dot. So, I'll go out here where it's been tied off before. I think from what I read, from what I understand, you usually want to skip one. This is a little long. Go ahead and just give it a little hand tight. Go back to this clip. Out and in, out and in. Hold, release. You want to do it twice. I gotta cut it. Where's my trimmer? There it is. Boom. Little trash can right there. Then go back. There's all sorts of different ways that you could end this. There's starting ones, there's ending ones. I just keep it simple. Trim that later. thing here. A little long. I should have cut it before, but that's what time. And that's that for the mains. Now on to the crosses, the ones I hate the most. I'll cut it completely down a little bit later. Starting from the top, that's where I like starting from. You just have to sort of interchange. If you go down, up, down, up. Now I'm not that good at this, and plus these have a little oil on the strings, so they can get a little slippery. If you go online, some guys that do this, that have been doing this for years, they can just go. So I'm not going to end. This is actually going to be the last one that I do. So kind of measuring it out, put a little bit extra there, put that there, and I'm going to end on this side. I saw it on this Tennis Spin. He did it this way when I was learning how to do it. I was watching his videos, and so I just kind of gotten used to it, doing it that way. Does leave this long part here. I know that he does about 2, and then he tightens each one as he goes. So you have to interchange. If you go down and up for the first 2, you're going, I know you guys can't probably see here, but I started here, it's down. On this one, it's also down because it has an extra string. But everything after that, until you get down to the bottom, is interchanged. And the pattern pretty much dictates. So this one is finishing up top, and when I put it down, it's going to go through the bottom. This is the only part I hate about the crosses. Is the, like I said, I don't really have the room here. I'm kind of cramped. Because the PC is taking up, my desk is taking up most of the room. I'm all tangled up here. Just give it a nice pull. Like I said, some people leave a little this long and then start the other one. I can't do that. I just sort of get confused. Not really that confusing, but I'll have to go in and fix the strings. I'm keeping it at 50 pounds. I know some people go 1 poundage on the mains, a different poundage, meaning the tension on the crosses. I'll just keep it the same, 50 pounds. Now, 50 pounds might sound kind of hard, especially for a high school kid. I go about 55. I like them super tight. Like I said, I like to produce a lot of spin, and I think having them tight just sort of works for me. And I hit pretty hard. I don't want it to pocket when the ball sets in, and I don't want it to trampoline off the ball. I want to be able to produce and control the power a little bit better. So if you start at the bottom, it's pretty much going to be starting at the bottom every single time after that. Let's see what you guys. Oh, my cousin was just on. Sorry, Jesse, I wasn't watching what you were saying. I'll text you later, buddy. See how you're doing. Battle buddy. Stuff can be a little bit boring at times. But if you're actually doing it, it can be kind of satisfying, relaxing to listen to music as I am. Got a headphone in, AirPod. I already forgot. Yeah, come on. The oil on this is already making it sort of slip off my fingers. A little over halfway done. I was going for speed. About 38 minutes, at least for me. Just feeling, make sure that I. Okay. Every once in a while, I sort of mess up, start thinking about something else. Uh, then I kind of skip a link. But there's some electric machines where I would do this, hit this button, and it just tightened it for me. So I wouldn't have to take my hand off, which could save you, if you're doing a bunch of these, a lot of time. But this machine already is expensive enough, and they really do last forever. I do have to calibrate or recalibrate here pretty soon. After about every 50, I got a little recalibration thing I need to do. That might be coming up here soon. Now this end right here is where it starts to get a little tough as we get into these. The reason I like to start at the bottom and end at the top is for precisely the reasons in these tiny ones where it's so cramped and I can barely get my hand in this little space here. I know you guys probably can't see, but it's only about this much. I like to be able to put it through these little holes from the top rather than the bottom. I'm gonna flip this around. Good thing I got smaller hands. And these thinner hands, not big old sort of thick mitts. Getting in these small crevices. Or as Bear Grylls says, crevasses. Put this around. Run out of space. Starting to get a little tight, a little harder, a little slower. Here we go. Now this part I do have to go a little slow. I don't have much room to play with. Come on. There's probably an easier way to do this, and I'm definitely not doing it. Like I said, sort of starting off. I've been doing it a few years, and maybe I should check out some other YouTube videos on how to end it. But usually in the edited ones, they kind of tell you about how to start it, and then they're already at the bottom. Sorry, it's a little warm in here with all the lights on. I don't have my fan on. That way it doesn't drown out the noise. Plenty of time to do it. At least one more. And the next one, I'm just gonna haul ass on it. I do have to also eat. I do have to get something to eat. This is the part that I hate the most. Just got one more. This last one. Because it does go into a hole in which on the mains it kind of covers it. I gotta make sure that the oil in the string is making the string slippery. So this one's bottom, so I gotta end on top. Like I said, this is the only way I know how to do this, one by one on this bottom part. I'm not that ambidextrous with this hand, so I tend to use my left more, even though I'm right-handed. I'm stringing, I don't know why. Okay, let's see, it's ending at the bottom, which I hate, but I would rather do one at the end at the bottom than all of them. I'm just gonna give it a little push. Right out. There we go. A nice little tug. Got it all right. Second last one. Go ahead and clamp it. End it. Still got quite a bit, so waste a little bit of string. But that's alright. Not too big of a deal. Skip 1, 2. I can even go 3, which I'm going to. I got a little more space. Go ahead and tighten this. Use this one, which is the same as this one over here. Just a little different. It's got these strings on here in case the string is too short. I can go ahead and clamp this here and then attach it to the machine, and it pulls it for me, or it helps me to pull, not pulls it for me. It gives me that little extra that I need. Put that there for now. Let's go back to this one. Let me get a little. Pulls it off. That. Cuando forward, backwards, forward, backwards. Hold it, let go. And something. A little pull. There we go. We'll go ahead and cut these strings. Keep them short. There's some people that go through and tighten it. I just kind of like to look down, make sure all the strings are tight. Or not tight, but straight. Sometimes you get a little waning. I know if you take your time on it, you can do it where you don't have to do this at the end. But it also gives me an opportunity to make sure that I go through one last time and make sure I didn't skip anything. Looks good. Loosen it up. Loosen her up. And loosen her up. There we go. The racket is now smaller than when it came in. And there you go. Nice. Brand new grip on it. This one's good to go. Time for the second one. Like I said, I'm only going to do one of these. They're both the same. Because I'm going to let the player hit with this one. She's going to tell me how she likes these strings. I don't want to put two of the same ones. And she's doing new strings. I'm giving her new strings. Something she hasn't used before, and I don't want her to hit with them, and then she doesn't like them. And then I just spent, $20 and my time stringing. And I have to come back through and cut them. So I'm only going to do one. You want to do just finger squeeze, all right? And go back through, do the mains, go a little tighter, just to get all the tension out. The racket is going to shrink as I put some pressure on this, some poundage. So, these are Lux Salon strings, just like at the time. Okay, plenty of time. These are Lux Salon strings. No. Solinco. Sorry, Solinco. Okay, so let's start at the top also. So I'm going to try to go a little faster. So if I don't check the messages, not that I have a lot, I think I only got 2 and 3 for 2 people. Because I'm running out of time. I gotta leave by 6. I have to go over the back of my room. Just kind of grab the ends here. Go up and down like this. Make sure they're tight. There we go. Nice and even. I said I like starting on this side. I'm tying off the left side first. Every string that I do, or every stringing job that I do, I always put new grips. Just sort of as something extra that I do. Same thing with this girl. We'll do 50 pounds. I'll observe how she hits. And I'll see what the ball is doing. I'd rather go a little bit high and then just tell her, okay, just hit a little bit more with the strings. I'll loosen up on you. See how she feels after that. and then start stringing from there, rather than go too loose with, let's say, 40 or 45, and she's trampolining on them, and then I have to pull whole strings out again and replace them. So 16 and hit, she, I think 52 should be left. And this is a different girl, different strings. She's got a different set of strings, like I said. These Salinkos are very popular these days. A lot of college kids are hitting with these. We started making our own rackets. I've never tried one. I've only ever tried the Head brand, which that's what this is, but not this particular make or model. I mean, not this particular model. And Yonex. I really like Yonex. I kind of fall in love with those. Some of these rackets, I think all but the Yonex, at least most of the ones that I've strung. I know the Yonex maybe, but I just never really looked at it. It tells you in areas where to tie them off. The suggested areas on where to tie them off. whether it's main or cross. And, usually when I go with the manufacturer's recommendation, they know something that we don't. They've developed these rackets to work in a very specific way. So I try and keep it that way. The only times that I will not is for some reason you only had to do it to a battle lock once. Just couldn't get it in because of the type of string that I was using. I was using a thicker gauge, which I now use it's a 17 gauge or 16L. So I couldn't get it in, so I had to go and skip a hole. Sometimes there's some of these that they sort of overlap. And on this one, you got to be careful because you got a hole here, then you got to skip, and then you got a hole on the next one. And usually the little eyelids will kind of show you, and also you can kind of look and see that they're spaced out pretty evenly. The eyelid will sort of point down. If it's new, it probably won't do that, but you'll know because if you string here, it'll all of a sudden be pretty even, and then all of a sudden you'll have one string that's like super duper close. So you'll know something is up. So this may be a 16 by 20. And this one has here, it says, this one here, 5. And we gotta skip one. Doesn't go so fast. I'm already forgetting some of the steps. I'm actually cheating, I guess. Some of the steps. Here. Go ahead and just cut it. This one. Up, down, up, down. Loosen. Let go of the pressure. Back this way. There we go. Mains done. The crosses are what takes the longest. It took about 15 minutes. This will take about 20 minutes. I'm trying to go a little faster. Same thing, overlaps. Doing these little pliers. A little push there. There we go. Let's go this way. That's good. Now this one, you want it to be, your crosses, you want the strings to be longer because you have more crosses. And you got 2 more than you do on the last racket that we did. It's a 16 by 20, I think. 16 by 19. No, 16 by 20. Maybe, something like that. But I know it's got more. I forget what it is. I can probably look on it. I just don't remember. I haven't done this one in a while. Last time I did this one for a tennis player. About 2 years ago during the pandemic. Then she had played the following year. So she just got back into it. So strings have been sitting there for a while. So I know that they're dead. And these don't slide as good. Again, they don't got the oil on them. A little bit more friction. And they got a little hot. Burn my fingertips. They're a little singed right now. Yeah, without the oils on this one, as in the previous racket, you go too fast. You sort of singe. The tip of your fingers are a little. I'm trying to go a little bit faster. I do a practice at 6. In a few minutes, so I want to finish this off. I wasn't planning on live streaming, but I wanted to give it a go and see if I could do it. If enough people watch. I do have to do 2 other rackets, one of mine. I love tennis. So. I already forgot. Am I going? Yep, bottom. Okay. For once in a while, I gotta just remind myself. is the part that I hate the most. Down here, these last few take the longest, at least for me. They do. And this one still has two more to go. The difference between this racket and the other is that this one has more crosses, more of these than the other one. You tell the pattern's a lot tighter. I don't know if you can tell. Because the angle you're at, the pattern is tighter. I need that little precision. The needle nose. Yeah, harder. Last. Up. The next one will be a down. Two factors. Last one. Almost. One more. And of course it ends on the bottom, which I absolutely hate. God damn it. Sorry. Gosh darn it. There we go. Boom. Let's get this bad boy out. Give it a nice little. Got it. Final. Here we go. Right there. Got this one a little long. That's okay. 1, 2. I mean, this one says here. Just go where they recommend. Different than the Yonex. I'll go with what they recommend. One more time. At least we'll do 2. There we go. Stab myself. Stab myself with these bad boys. Let me go over here. I know it says there, and that is it. Easy cheesy, lemon squeezy. Just gotta finish these up here. Boom. Boom. Throw those away. Go back through, fix these. Make sure that the strings are straight. Some of them a little bit crooked. You can probably see down here. They kind of go this way. There we go. Looks pretty straight. And they'll move as the players hit with them. So go ahead and get it off. And I'll show you the kind of pressure that these are on. And you don't want to leave strings in there for too long. As you can see, this is the racket strung. Let's see if I can get it back a little bit. We'll go this way. Strung, unstrung. And I'll see if I can put the difference for the next two. One another. You really can't see because of the angle, but it's kind of bowed. This back one is just a little bit wider. Just slightly, not too much, but enough to make a difference. And that's it for the stringy job. Thank you, everyone, for watching. Peace. I appreciate it.